It's going.
Oh, yeah. All right, so that was intense. Trying to figure out how to make this work. Okay, so first of all, I want to say hi. It's been a while since I've posted a video. We took a week off for Christmas, and we did our first round of holidays together.
Yeah!
And we survived.
We did.
Still happily in love.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a good thing. This week's topic is bullying. It's really kind of an important topic to me because here recently, it's kind of been very prominent in our life. It's something that came to our attention a couple weeks ago, and so yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about it. When I started dating Addison, this is Addison in case anybody forgot. I know we've talked about in previous videos about how I still identify as a lesbian, and there has definitely been a little bit of backlash from other lesbians that I know who aren't quite comfortable with me choosing to still identify as a lesbian. Other partners don't agree with me still identifying as a lesbian. I've been told things like I'm undermining his masculinity. Just all in all, pretty much been told over and over again that I'm not being fair to him by remaining to identify as I feel is fit. And that's been kind of rough to be told that by anyone, but especially by another partner. I think that was really hurtful. I've had some backlash from exes, even men that I've dated, who now find, when I'm trying to explain to them what trans means, and when they're watching the videos or something, and there's a lot of jokes cracked, and just saying I've been straight all along, or I'm back to being straight, or just really rude stuff that I just don't feel like repeating because it's not really what this video is about. But most recently, I think what finally sent me over was there was an incident on Tumblr for you that really just floored me. I think it was one thing for me to deal with being attacked myself on some of this stuff because I understood that not everybody's going to understand, but I think what bothered me the most was who was attacking you was
another trans person.
And not just one. Several.
A whole group of people. A whole group of trans men.
It was really uncomfortable, to say the least. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Well, it's been a minute, because one of them was removed from Tumblr, so I posted a picture for Topless Tuesday, because I hadn't done it in a while, since I started T, because I used to be really body positive before I started transitioning, and I decided to do another one because of all of my changes that I was going through. And they just started ripping me apart for telling me that I didn't really have dysphoria, that I wasn't really trans because I was okay with showing my tits. But it's something I have, something that I'm not going to get rid of anytime soon. I was okay with that. There are other things that I have bigger dysphoria is about, but that's not the point. Anyway, I was being made fun of on other blogs about this one picture that I had posted.
And it wasn't just... Actually, you were called out on it before you ever even posted the picture.
Mm-hmm.
He posted on his blog about he was considering doing Topless Tuesday, and he pretty much was like, what does everybody think? And this guy just pretty much said some really hateful things. And then to come find, you came home and we were discussing, after looking at it, that he was trans himself. And his blog is not up anymore because I've been keeping tabs on it. Because, I figured if he's going after Addison, it was only a matter of time before he stumbled upon my blog, and I wasn't about to let him have any opportunities to, attack us one more time. But then come to find out, it wasn't just him, because Addison, of course, replied by posting, I don't know how many Topless Tuesday photos.
Like 6 or 7.
Yeah, it was quite a few of them. And it's kind of upsetting because I think it's really great that you are being body positive throughout this, because I feel like there's so much pressure for trans men to let the dysphoria take over. It's like this competition, who has the worst dysphoria.
It really is. There are several competitions in the trans community. It's not just who has the most dysphoria. It's, who's growing facial hair the fast, and who's the most built, and it's the same as if you were a man. It really is. Like, who has the biggest penis? Who has the most...
the biggest truck.
The biggest beard, or, whatever. It's the same idea. It's just, in the way of transitioning instead of just being a man. So, I mean, I can understand why. We're pumping testosterone through our veins. Of course there's going to be competition, because that's, part of it. But, it was just sad. It was just sad.
Well, but all I'm saying is that I think it's really important to have some literal faces to put to, hey, my dysphoria is not taken over my life completely. I can still be body positive. Like, there needs to be a place for that. And it just, I don't know, it really rubbed me wrong. It hurt my feelings, completely hurt my feelings. I understand that there's competitiveness there.
But it's unnecessary. The way in which it was gone about was unnecessary.
Well, and it wasn't just you that he was picking on. He was literally going through the trans...
No, it was the FTM tag.
Right, the FTM tag, and ripping... everyone apart. Just completely ripping them apart. And
if there was something he didn't like or he didn't agree with, he was making fun of them on his blog, ripping them apart, and telling them that they weren't good enough.
Yeah. And, luckily for us, Addison's dysphoria isn't that bad, and the depression isn't that bad. But to do that to someone
who maybe is on the edge,
on the brink,
killing themselves or worse, it just, that isn't okay. Especially in someone in your own community who's going through the same things you are, and just as depressed as you are, and has, dysphoria is just like you have.
Right.
It's just not okay. I can't even imagine someone who, if that would have, thank God I wasn't in that place, because what if I didn't have you, and was alone, and was depressed, and was on that brink? What? I just can't even imagine what he did to some people.
No. And it's sad. Okay. So, that happened. There was some unexpected bullying, definitely, from within our own circles.
From people that we really love.
Yeah. there was a couple mentions of
Let's go back to even before we started dating. Let's go to this one.
okay, so
'Cause that one's
when
first.
Addison, this is before we were even super close, and before I was really at all. I mean, I knew what transgender meant. I've grown up in a pretty, diverse background. I have a pretty diverse background. So, I mean, I was aware of, but I wasn't really, I had no information. Like, I knew, like, this much. You know what I mean? Like, it was very limited, my knowledge. And, when Addison first changed his name from his given name, I listened to a lot of people just sort of rip him apart for it, and I didn't really understand. And that, thinking back now, I wish I would have been a little bit more informed, so that maybe I could have, I don't know, stood up for you. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that, but and then since we started dating, there was also an incident where we were sort of made to feel like his progression was making other trans men who maybe weren't able to get the ball rolling quite as they put it, as quickly, when really, I mean, this has been 8 years in the making. This isn't like, oh, I decided to be trans yesterday and now I'm going to go start testosterone in 2 weeks. Like, this has been ongoing.
For 8 years.
For 8 years. And so there was that was really hard too. It was like, uncomfortable. And then, there was a time too where I was pretty much told that, when we first started dating, there was a lot of backlash. And I was told a few times that basically I had no idea and what I was getting in for, even though I was fully aware. And that I was, like, I literally was told that this is not what I want. Okay, so clearly this is what I want, because I'm still very happy. But, so those were some things that they were a little hard to swallow coming from, in your circle. The not trans enough issue and how we deal with that. Somebody saying you're not trans enough. Which, like, what how?
Well, first of all, that doesn't exist.
No.
Being trans enough doesn't exist. It's like not being gay enough, or not being male enough, or not being human enough. It just doesn't exist. It's a spectrum. No matter what you're talking about, whether it's gender or sexuality or whatever, it's still a spectrum. And you can land anywhere on the spectrum. So, like, I identify as a queer male FTM trans. That's what I identify as. But there are people who identify everywhere on that spectrum. So, if you don't want to get your tits cut off, then don't. If you don't want to use a packer, then don't. If you don't want to cut your hair, then don't. If you want to have tits and long hair and wear makeup and still identify as trans, then you have every right to. That makes you different from me. But if you want to identify as trans just because you can't cut your hair off and cut your tits off, that doesn't make you less trans. It's all inside. And who am I to judge you if you can't express as much as I can? You know, by all means, if you feel like you should be male and you should be in a male body, then you should be able to live that way. But if you can't...
Who's to say that you're not male up here, but what if you're a cross-dressing male up here? What if you feel like a man, but you dress like a woman?
But men do that all the time. Biological men cross-dress all the time. Still feel male, but cross-dress as females. Why?
Yeah.
Why can't you?
I've known straight men that do drag.
I mean, there's nothing that says you can't. So, for someone to tell you that you aren't trans enough or that you aren't male enough or anything like that, that's not true.
I mean,
you can be anything you want to be.
In my last relationship, actually, one of our biggest issues was that she did not feel I was gay enough.
I think you're pretty fucking gay.
There you have it.
Well, I mean, look at you.
I cut all my hair off, you guys. What do we think?
It's
Let
shaved.
me show you the back of it.
Yeah.
Are they all... Can you see my...
Yeah. Look at that. It's sexy. And you got the little...
Yep. It's totally a dyke haircut. I'm very proud of it. Yeah. Oh, yep. Okay, well, we are 17 minutes in. Yikes. But all I can say is don't let the bastards get you down. No. And remember that the most important lesson of this video is to be yourself, do things your way.
Always.
And if someone doesn't agree with you...
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Just...
Fuck them.
See you later. Sayonara.
Bye.
Adios. And with that, we will see you... Actually... Monday. Yes, because I will actually get my video up on time because I started a new job. It's been a crazy couple weeks.
It has.
Yes. So I apologize very much, but I promise that things will get much more steady and much better. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.